Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining me every evening to follow what's happening in India and abroad. And thank you for sending me your useful comments and suggestions. If you believe in this channel, do share it with your friends and spread the message. It makes a big difference. Our only mission is to bring you the truth and both sides of the story. Thank you for your support. We have Deepti back with us. It's part 10 of SSR Diaries. Welcome, Deepti. Viewers have been
Thank you,
waiting
Minaji.
eagerly for you.
Yes, Minaji. I want to share, tell the same thing which I told you just now about
Yes,
the drives.
please. Please.
I too am receiving requests to, leave a video or two or proofs or something in the public domain. But let me tell you here, there are 8 drives in total. Okay, the first drive, initially I started with the first drive, but when people wanted to know what happened close to, to his death, I went to 8th drive. After finishing first drive, I went to 8th drive. So now I am decoding the 8th drive. But the proofs and the which has the documents or the photos or the videos which I can see from here, they are in the 5th drive. Okay, and those are 4 times more heavily encrypted, the ones with the proofs. And here I'm also facing problems because apart from me, there are 5 other copies of Sushant's drives out there. Okay, CBI might be having one, the culprits might be having one, we don't know. But whoever has these drives, they are making attempts to block me from trying to decrypt the drives. So that's why it's taking so much time. So I want people to
How
be
can
aware of
they,
how this is.
Deepti, how can they block you? How do they do that?
See, Sushant designed this in this interface. Because there was a team of his. Okay,
Yes,
so he decided to have backup copies. So
yes.
it is all interlinked by one main link.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so they're all interconnected. If one opens the drive, other can see it. So it's
Yes,
how, yeah, how it is.
yeah. So then let's start, Deepti. We can start with your session.
Okay, sure. All right. So I'll start right away, Minaji.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. The thing everyone needs to understand is that when you're up to something, it's only dedication that will help you reach to the roots of it. And if you're not dedicated, you cannot achieve anything. As I have said earlier, this is how, this is now the dedication of my life. I just want to ensure that all the things that I have seen with my own eyes, heard it from people, and things which I am sure, unsure, and not sure of everything, I need to make notes of it. Because it's very important that the people who are with me need to be aware of every single aspect of my journey and the steps we have taken so that everything happens smoothly. Now, here the most important thing that I need to mention, and one person on whom you should have your eyes like the eagle soaring high in the sky has on its prey, is Abhishek Trimuke. This man is hand in glove with Bollywood and is the one who has been letting these white collar criminals off the hook. If it happened once or twice, it's fine. But every time, whenever something wrong happened, this person was there, like the scarecrow, right there to shoo honest people away from the scene. And this has happened most of the times. Each time, every single time. This man was there when I go back and study some cases. This person was always there, either as the investigating officer or the person who was trying to poison the mind of the investigating officers. I don't want to talk at a length about this person because hand, unless there is a hand on top of these people's head, these people literally cannot do anything much about things. And and if he is able to do things like this, then there is a connection, and this connection is very, very important to leave trails on why I got my doubts on this person is that the betting scandal that happened, this man was the investigating officer. The most important thing that made me doubt this person even the more is Nawazuddin Siddiqui's wife's call recording case, which she had filed on this DCP. This is the pathetic condition of our law system, and this has to change. This will only change when we all raise our voice against it. I will blow the conch, and I am sure if no one follows me there, there are some people who are like minded like me and will follow me for sure. The man whose hand is on the head of DCP Trimuke is none other than Sharad Pawar. He was one of the main reasons why this man is totally, I'm sorry, I'll read this again, Minaji. The man whose hand is on the head of DCP Trimuke is none other than Sharad Pawar. He was one of the main reasons why this man is totally able to execute things to perfection. I know I am taking a huge name here, but the proof for me to have taken this stand is right here at my fingertips. If anything needs verification, you can just ask the people involved in the call recording case to know the whole story, and the thing will be out black and white on paper. But if you don't want to go with words, there are few people who can speak around this too. I am telling this in detail here because these are the kind of officers who don't do their duty honestly and at the same time don't let others do their duty too. And if in Mumbai police there is one person who should be called the darkest spot on them, then the person is none other than this man, who is literally involved in everything: money laundering, corruption, hawala, and has used his uniform in the best possible manner, not just to serve his masters, but also to go ahead and be a curse on himself and also the department that he is serving. And this is because of people like this that the entire system is suffering. The system is wrong, yes. But why is the system wrong? The system is wrong because the people in it are wrong. People like Abhishek Trimuke, a total blunder to the society. This is not the only person who is on the radar there. There are some more, but the only problem that happens here is that the people who are involved in this, the people who have done the crime, and the people who support the crime are so strong that the common man doesn't even want to stand up. And if he stands up, he ends up being another Ravindra Patil. Do you think there are no eyewitnesses or evidences on the hit and run case where Salman was the one who was the reason all that happened there? There were witnesses, but then what happened to them is not exactly known. Some people who had seen are gone missing, and the families still keep getting the phone calls that the missing person is in Dubai or elsewhere out of India. I tried contacting a few, and yes, they were out of India. And one of them, I will not take the name here because the name is not important as the person. I have no comments on what he had decided, because when this kind of situations come into play, normal people who are real, nobody, tend to give in. And that is perfectly understood, because who will stand up? If you stand up, who will take care of your family? And when the person who was a part of the system, a part of the police setup, he himself was harassed to the core, what do you expect me to do? These were the words I got to hear. And now, if I go back and think, I clearly understand that it's not the person, but these people who bury down the truth by burying people's voices are the ones who are responsible. I didn't want to bore you, but wanted you when reading this to understand one truth, which I got to learn during this journey. That is, if you bow down, then you are the king, but if you raise your head, you are over. The man, in order to save himself, ensured the people who could create problems for him. He got them settled with a good job. But what game he played here to ensure that he will always be safe is that the employer who has given employment to these people has the passports of these people in his custody. And the only condition that is put on these people before offering the job was they will never come back to India. And in the words of the person to whom I spoke, he clearly said that our families will also be brought here once we are settled. But the family does not want to come. That's why we were given two options: either die or go abroad and enjoy. We miss our family, but we are happy that they are at least safe. And this job that we have got now, we don't need to work like hired laborers. We are happy and relaxed that our work is paying us good and our family is happy. And this is the bottom line, sir. Please don't get in touch with us ever again. If you respect humanity, I got my answers, and I respect that person's request for privacy. But this that happened is a matter of great shame for all of us. That despite everyone knowing what has happened, no one is ready to speak. And the people who are ready to speak are either silenced or taken to task like this utter shame. The way these people operate, I seriously feel, where has humanity gone? Where has humanity gone? But yes, whom do we blame? We cannot blame anyone because we are like this. We just don't bother about anything, and this very attitude will cost us huge. This very attitude is letting the country down. This very attitude is letting people like Trimuke do what they want to do, and his bosses get off the hook very easily. The essay all started when I wanted to study why is Salman Khan become like this. The easiest way to get to the root of the issue is to get to the roots of the person who has created the issue. And that's when you can uncover the whole story. The thing with this man is that he had a name because Salim ji was already from the industry and he grew around this name. Arrogance and ignorance was always there in the person, but this became even bigger with age and the type of contacts he had. The biggest way these people use to trap highly placed people in the society is by getting into the flesh trade. I'm sorry I'm writing this so blunt, but this is a fact. The first step towards being Salman Khan was this. And I have verified the facts, but the only bone in contention is that this person has spread so much fear around his name that no one really wants to come out in the open and speak against it. This man has top guns in his pocket and can do anything when it comes to getting a job done. Betting international money transfers and hawala transactions. Since the time it came into the radar of the agencies, everyone wanted one trustworthy platform for the same to be done without coming into the eyes of the authority. And that's the reason being human came into existence. And this is the reality. This was told to me by Alvira Khan, and the way she told as if her brother being the in charge of it is like winning a trophy or a matter of great pride to her. I don't know what to say here, but the people doing bad just do it and do it in such a way as if it's an achievement for them. And there are no regrets for it. This is the reality of being human. And I have got access to some files and papers which I have to soon collect, which will expose all of these people, totally some names who are highly respected and adored, to support this kind of an organization. And we were under an impression that these are greats. After getting to know all this, I feel misguided and robbed of all my young days, where we were looking up to these people and aspired to be like them. Thank God, I couldn't be like them, and I am myself, and very happy with what I am today. But the innocent people who still follow these people, who and these people who enjoy a demigod like status in the society, shame on them. I will make sure that these people will not go out that easy because it is not just the money or these crimes, what they are doing in the dark have made them wrong. Millions and millions of emotions attached to them are are being given a wrong picture and a wrong projection, and that, according to me, is wrong. Is money that important that you blindly sign a fairness cream ad? What about your religious books? What about your halal philosophy? I'm not against religion here. I'm not against religion here, but does fairness creams have halal written on it? And the worst part of it, these people feature in the ad and make the public go for these products. But their own makeup kits do not have a single product they endorse. I have known this and I have seen it with my eyes. Why are you giving mileage to the idea where skin color becomes an important aspect to judge people's skin color? Skin color is not at all that means to make out whether a person is good or bad. I am writing nonsense here, but the only reason I am writing this is because even here, these people very well are playing with our minds and making us slowly a slave of cheap products which can actually lead to a total different scenario later on. The chemicals that are used in these fairness creams, if you closely watch it and understand it, and if you conduct your tests around this and get in touch with people who have done these tests, you will understand on the long run have adverse effects on your skin and body and can lead to a lot of skin related disorders. What happens after that is once you have started to use these products, you don't feel easy. If you have not put your makeup on, and just imagine how much harm you are doing to yourself and your near and dear ones. Don't take me wrong, I am writing this, but the connection of how this makeup can go into your stomach and why the celebrities, when they greet each other, touch their chin to the other's chin instead of that casual kiss, which is very common these days, is because they are very well aware of what shit they have applied all over their face. But what about the common people? One kiss chemical directly into your stomach. Hope you understand what point I'm trying to make here. Everything is so very well interconnected, and if you watch the patterns closely, you will see that the demand is not actually there, but it is created. And once the demand is created, then the supply is deliberately delayed so that the product becomes an instant hit. And look at the contents used. You will vomit out whatever you have eaten. I don't have any grudge on any of these companies, but yes, these products are harmful for your skin, and I will not endorse it and will try and put my effort to make people realize that there are a lot of options available with nature to look beautiful, and if you are born that way, that's your real beauty. A little bit of powder touch up here and there, a little bit of makeup is still fine. But layer over layer over layer for hours together does so much harm to your skin, and the best advice is stay away from it. For us, it's a curse. You need to wear it. But you have a choice, and when it's about health, there should be no compromise. This was just my thought. And yes, don't think or feel I have written nonsense here. But there are a lot of cases of skin diseases and so many other diseases where cosmetics are to be blamed. Sad but true. The fact is this, and not many want to accept it. This was one chapter I wanted to get to people's notice on how every business is interconnected and finally ends up to the health industry. Hospitals, the medicines prescribed, the doctors cut the hospital stuff, the things that happen, everything is a chain link and closely connected to one another. And here is the game that is being played on the lives of people. And the way it is interconnected is so beautifully done that one product makes 100 co products survive around it. All these products together give rise to a lot of diseases. And these diseases you need hospitals, and for hospitals you need money. The only three businesses which will never face any recession is the fear industry, within brackets, what we are taught on the name of religion, the hospital business, and schools. These three businesses will never go dry, and the biggest shame is education, which according to me should go out for free and should be sponsored by state, is been going on a private scale, and unfortunately in India it is. If you see countries outside India, the state takes care of the education, and India will become a developed nation only when education comes under the government and these private institutions are shut. Education plays a very important role in the forming the main structure of the society. And privatization of education can create a lot of trouble for everyone, because when education is the need of the hour, this need should not hamper anyone's want for living. What I meant to say here is that education should not be a burden on anyone. If one thing can kill all voices in the society and can make people better and improve their standards of living, be aware of what is happening around them, then that tool is education. But the costly private institutions have made it a competition, a race, wherein normal government schools are suffering. The thing now is that if I wanted to change something in this society or wanted to make this society better, then I would first focus on giving the best quality of education at much affordable or no cost. This is what we have to do, and we have to do it collectively. Government is doing it with some schemes, but this is not enough. It has to be made mandatory and free for all. And that's when a major change can be expected. I know this thought is too good to be true, because the education mafia will instantly get into action and start destroying everything. But the fact is that there will be a lot of things that can be taken care of if a tough stand is taken. And we have to make sure this happens. Same with hospitals too. I feel that when we pay taxes, we have all the rights to ask these questions. Roads and others, there are other remedial self-sustaining source of incomes for the government, toll booths, platform tickets, etc., etc. And for projects also. If there are stringent measures in place, everything is easily possible. This will take time, but is not impossible. I will play my role too in this by making sure I give my bit of whatever I can and make sure that this bit counts. One voice doesn't make much of a difference, but if 10 people join hands and make sure they raise a voice, then the impact will definitely happen. And this is the kind of impact that is the need of the hour. Unity, we need to first ensure we will leave all our differences aside and stay united. I will work on this with my people and try to spread these messages in a way where everyone will understand what the message is. This is a dream for me too, and I will make sure I will achieve this dream and make it a reality. We all have to work towards this, and how to do it, I will make sure I will lead the way and make this happen. Because this, according to me, is the one short answer to most of the problems in the society. I don't want to look down upon them, but if you see most of the crimes that happen, the criminals are illiterate or do not have proper education. And I feel if this problem is taken care of, at least 40% of the problems of the society will be taken care of. And this is the reality which we will all see in the future. I have the zeal in me while writing this, and if everything goes as per my plan, then this will make sure that everyone exactly knows what the importance of education is and will take it seriously. People now might think and ask that what about the jobs for these people? Jobs can be created, or people can become independent entrepreneurs and work towards their own growth. Anyways, here the government too is supporting this, and this has to be used wisely by both the people and the government, and the revolution will definitely happen. This is one change which has to come soon. I know it will take some time for this, but it is never too late to start. The Mumbai Mafia is a very important chapter in the history of Mumbai, and how people who once didn't even belong to the city came here and now are the bosses of the city. Not just these people, but there are locals too. But what I want to say over here is why Mumbai is that very important when other cities are considered, and why has Mumbai been called the financial capital of India. This city is guarded fourth type of city: water on one side, land and air. So if someone has to plan something to be done and wants a route to escape after getting the job done, he has three options: air, land, and sky. And this is why Mumbai is the center of attraction for these gangsters, located right in between to everything. Major cities and major towns are well connected, and it is almost like if you are in Mumbai, you have the entire west, south, and the entire Maharashtra region in your control. This is why Mumbai is the heart of crime, and we all needed this info to start our work with. When we studied this, everything connected. Why most of the powerhouses, which almost I can say rule the country, are in Mumbai, and what is the impact this city has on our country. The mafia is deeply rooted and well connected to everything in Mumbai, and yes, plays a major role in the city when everything is concerned. And the style of work in the mafia now is slowly getting up to the standards of the corporate level of work, where everyone is given a specific task and they have to perform it and report the daily happenings as and how the things happen. If I have to make some connection of this mafia and the corporates, the connection is that the corporates use the mafia for a lot of their works, like recovery, clearing homes, scaring people, threat calls, putting rivals to rest, planned crimes, money transfers and unaccounted money, black jobs. To sum up, I have spoken about all this in the past, so I don't think I need to go in detail about this here. But the fact is that we all need to understand that the mafia is not standing on its own. In every way, some powerful people in the system and some top level businessmen are equally involved in this. And this is how the mafia rose. And today they have become a superpower. And if someone is to blame for this, It is only the system and the people who initially used them. And once they got their hold of things, now they are the boss for the eye. And boss really too, in some cases. But in most of the cases, they are the boss only for the eye and not in real. In real, the bosses are different and they too play a major role in the country. Some of them are as follows. The mafia is the main link when it comes to power in the country today. They have now grown so strong that there is no looking back for them. They are now the kingmakers in the country. Every crime that happens now happens with the information and involvement of mainstream media too. And this is another huge problem for the country because the direct attack is on the voice of the nation. See, according to me, journalism is the voice of democracy. And these people are now deeply rooted here too. And when you are reading this and might be thinking, all I needed to do is approach the news channels with my work, I chose not to. Because the news channels, most of them, if not all, only are concerned about their business and how to grow their channel. Not a single effort is put to know the real truth. And the irony is that the way the media is handled in our country, publish or speak anything about anyone, and then if something goes wrong, all you have to do is issue a public apology and then move on as if nothing ever happened, really. You can see how much negativity is being spread these days. Back in those days, when journalism was a religion and reports both of television and print media used to do their jobs as if it was their way of showing devotion to God. But today, show me the number of journalists who do this. You can actually count them on your fingertips. The way the media industry has grown and changed is alarming. And this is a huge threat to our nation because if someone wants to take control of our country, then the only thing that person has to do is just get to the weak link in these media houses. And he will be an overnight hero. The media will make him one. In those days, criminals never were glorified in news or newspapers, but today they are actually glorified and made to look like heroes. This is huge shame. This is huge shame to us and our country. Not that I have any enmity with the media houses or their style of work, but when your work is not less to that of the soldier guarding the borders of our nation, you need to do it in a totally responsible and dedicated manner. You have a huge social responsibility on you, and you need to ensure that whatever you do or share, you need to be aware that this is going to be the mirror to that common man to whom you are his only source which is readily available to him to get the real picture of the scheme of things and to be in loop with the current happenings around him. You are the one where he will look up to, find answers for a number of questions that will come to his mind. So you have both the roles to play over here. First is to answer the question and then make sure that these answers you give frames the right questions in the minds of the people. This is what responsible journalism is, not the one that is being done now, where there is no sense of responsibility, and I can vouch on it that there is not a single media house which is following this today. The biggest weapons in the hands of the media are according to our sources. And the second one is fact check. I have my own questions around this and will ask it one day to them. Just a second, Minaji. I'm sorry. Yeah. Where was it? Today, the biggest weapons in the hands of the media are according to our sources, and the second one is fact check. I have my own questions around this and will ask it one day to them too. When I take them on while coming out in the public with my work, I'll make sure that everyone who is in power understands that power is not a VIP ticket to you. It's that responsibility on you, which, when delivered, only when delivered, will make you great. If you want to take pride in anything, then take pride in your dedication, take pride in doing the right thing, take pride in standing up for the right cause, take pride in voicing out for the right. Just because you are in power or you have huge following, that doesn't mean you take pride in this. The more the number of people look up to you, no doubt your status grows. But with this growth in status, another thing which comes by default is maintaining this status and the consistency with which you can maintain your status. The easiest way to do this, according to me, is to make sure that you do the right thing and do your job to perfection and stay humble, grounded, and have both your feet planted on earth. And never forget, it's because of the trust shown by the people in you, you are there. You can enjoy it. But before you enjoy it, make sure that you have earned the rights to enjoy 99%. If you don't want to do anything, it's still fine. But that 1% what is left, work honestly on it. A lot of changes will come and great revolutions will start. There is nothing wrong in enjoying it, but it's equally important that you live up to the responsibility that comes along with it. The mafia also controls sports and entertainment too, and is closely connected to a lot of events around these two industries. I have explained about it in detail in the past, and I don't think that there is nothing much to be added to it for now. But when I am giving a conclusion to all the chapters I have discussed before, I go into further details. I'm making an effort here to make sure that here you got to connect all the missing pieces of the puzzle, and this will actually help you have a better point to point action schedule you need to take in order to finish this work and make sure all this comes out to the public and the common man is well aware about what is happening around him and why is it important for him to raise his voice. See, one thing is for sure, the common man is sleeping in deep slumber actually, and that's why all this is happening. But if the faces multiply and the voices intensify, then there is no way that all this can continue. I hope every one of us remembers the story of one stick and 10 sticks that we are taught in our childhood. And the important message it carries to connect it to reality is as simple as this. If something good has to happen, some change has to come, then unity and numbers matter the most. What is happening in the society today is nothing but a unique kind of strategy call. I'm sorry, I'll read it again. What is happening in the society today is nothing but a unique kind of strategy. Call it marketing brainwash or whatsoever. This runs on two things. Number one, don't give out the complete truth. Number two, make sure that the mass never unites. The people who are ruling over us and the mafia who now has become a parasite to the nation is able to do it successfully just because they are ruling on your insecurities. They are ruling on you because the common man prefers family over social issues. Over social issues. Yes, I agree. Yes, I agree here. There is no doubt that you have your family and that's your main responsibility. But then, what actions to take to stand against the wrong that is happening again indirectly is what you are doing for your own family itself, not for anyone else. Because today it has happened elsewhere. Tomorrow it will happen to you, to your family. All this can happen and will happen for sure. And those days are not far, those days are right around the corner. But for that to happen, what is most important is that the people have to be woken up. And we need to make them realize that what the people can do for themselves, no one can do for them. They are the real heroes. And if they all stand united and ask the right questions in the right manner, then they can physically uproot the Himalayas and bring it down to Kanyakumari. Within brackets, nothing otherwise, no jokes to be made here. But what I meant with Himalayas here is problems or situations, and what I meant by Kanyakumari is the Indian Ocean in simple language. What I want people to understand is that every problem that you face in life has a sure shot solution to it. It's just that the way you take up the problem and the way you respond to it, that is important, and which makes is what makes the difference. The common man has to awaken. The common man has to awaken and start asking questions, start raising his voice, and make sure that when one stands up, there are hundreds of people who start and the numbers multiply. If this happens once or twice, then the third time there will be no crime. The people who want to rule over us will never risk themselves or their life. And trust me, these people are the most insecure, scared, and the most hysteriatic lot, which will snap or drop any idea within the blink of the eye. If there is one in an infinity chance, if there is one in an infinity chance for their image to be compromised or affected. This is clear in the body language and actions of these people. But the problem here is that the three monkey theory is being practiced to perfection in the society. Today we need to evolve and change the basics of belief system. We need to stick to the ethics of it and not revolve around it. It is very important that we need to ensure we are ready to take up anything as a challenge and be right there to make sure we address to our problems and challenges by looking it in its face. For all this to happen, the only thing that first needs to happen is that the main power of a nation who is sleeping should wake up. The real boss needs to come and take charge. That's when all these other people who are self-proclaimed bosses will shut all their shops and do their work honestly. This will soon happen, and to make it happen, the only thing that we first need to do is make people realize that truth is not weak and truth can never lose. Truth, honesty, loyalty are all so strong that they potentially can strike down every bad in the society within the fraction of a second and wipe off all the evil in the society even before your eye blinks. And this is what has to be done in a well planned manner because the parrot that holds the magician's life is not aware of this. And when he becomes aware of it, he potentially can make the magician dance to his tunes. This is what people should realize. And the day the people realize this, then no other trick in the book of anybody will actually work out. And if it does too, there will be no way this is going to sustain, neither for them nor for the people who have planned and conspired this. Because after coming this far in this journey, the one thing that I as a human being have realized is that there is no way that these people could have achieved all this, or there is no way that the mafia could have gone this deep and grown so strong. The only people to be blamed here are the people who, for their selfish motives and planned agendas, ensured that they created the mafia. And now this mafia has become a big problem for everyone. And the questions that remain to be answered remain unanswered. And this is the biggest sorry state of affairs that has caused a lot of worry in the society today. And who is to be blamed for this when this question comes up or has come up in my mind, and I have tried to search for answers. Most of the answers I found in myself. And this is a fact. The reality is very harsh. But unfortunately, that is the beauty of it. When it explodes on you, it teaches you a lot of things. Here I will now speak about one man who never did any crime, but how he was framed into a crime and people were forced into believing it that he was a criminal. I'm not telling this because I have any soft corner or any consideration for the person. But the fact is that this episode that happened shows how deep these people can go to actually make sure that their job is done and there is no one who can rise above them. And if someone tries to do so or go against them, then their fate ends up like this incident or something similar. One second, Meenaji. Yeah. So where was I? Okay. And there is no one who can rise above them. And if someone tries to do so or go against them, their fate ends up like this incident or something similar. And if you listen to them and dance to their tunes, you end up being successful. This is the story of Shiney Ahuja, the man who was accused in raping his maid. I spoke to some people around this, and I found out that this man was totally innocent. And the only mistake he ever did in his life was when he was at the peak of his career, he said no to someone. who came on him very hard. The biggest question mark, which remains unsolved in my mind even to this date, is that when the maid during court proceedings said that she was not raped and there was no rape that ever happened, what made the judge give such a decision? Was it not his duty to do proper verification if the statements given by the maid could be actually true? Sometimes it looks very funny to me. The people say that confession in court is one prime sort of evidence to prove someone guilty or not guilty. And on the other hand, the statements given to police or investigation agencies are not proved till the same is repeated in court. Within brackets, the statements given to police is not admissible in courts, is how they term it. Then what happened in this case? This question mark, I believe no one will have the guts to ask. And I am not sure how to ask it and with whom to ask it. I feel it totally logical that this is an important evidence all itself, that Shiney Ahuja was framed. And I am sure every logical person would believe it the same way as I do. And this is what I mean when I said reality now keeping all the factors that are in consideration. One more thing which strikes my thought is that why did Shiny himself not stand up for himself? All these questions only Shiny can answer. And when he said he is now living around it and there is nothing much can that be done. All that I have to say is that why is the world like this? And why is this become a bigger trend? And why is this becoming a bigger trend? And is this a continuous process? How can we enjoy someone playing the role of a person who is a most wanted criminal and one person who has been doing crimes that have made the soul of humanity to cry? And it is portrayed as if the person is not at all a bad person and wants to lead a better life and whatnot. Maybe agreed. And yes, I do personally believe that if someone wants to change, a chance should be given. But not like this, not in this way, where you first make him a hero and then create sympathy for him. For me, when I watched most of the movies around gangsters, I got connected to some real life incidents. And yes, I was under this impression. I'm not sure what you want to think, but the fact that is the truth and shall remain like this, maybe forever till some definite change comes, is, as I have said, every time when a finger is raised, the matter is silenced and the issues are buried. And there are solid and real documented instances wherein that happened during incidents, and then in the past, only fingers have risen and will keep continuing to raise if we don't unite together. And once we are together, there will be no scope for all this. This can happen and will happen. But as I have kept telling about it, the changes that have to happen depends on us and how we execute it. Because what everyone should know and understand is that we all have it in us to go for it. But the choices we make and these decisions take those stands and stick to our stand, this is the reality, this is the fact, and this is the truth. This is the basic fact that when something is due and when something has to do this, and when someone has to do this, the only option the person has is he has to stand up and roar out very loud. I'll read this again, Minaji. Because what everyone should know and understand is that we all have it in us to go for it. But the choices we make and the decisions we take, those stand and stick to our stand. This is the reality, this is the fact, and this is the truth. This is the basic fact that when something is due and when someone has to do things, the only option the person has is he has to stand up and roar out very loud, because unless his voice is heard out by people, there is no chance that he will ever be able to portray what he wants to say. And the best way to do this is keep everything out there in public for the public to see, hear, understand, digest, and apply their own brains. This is the fact, this is the reality. Till you stand up for what you want yourself, you can never expect anything to happen. The choice is up to us. We all have a family, yes, agreed. But don't we have that 1 hour in the day that we can dedicate for a better society? After all, for whom are we doing this? We are doing this for ourselves and not for anyone else, because the society we live in will be clean only. First, if we ourselves are clean. Lot of sacrifices are to be made, and there will be front runners for this. But what is most important is that your participation, you cannot take a flag and climb the Mount Everest is fine, but you can take a flag and climb the steps to your flat, at least. This is what is very, very important to do. Take a very small step, and these small steps only make the impact, which can create revolution. And these revolutions are the need of the hour, where you can actually understand how powerful truth can be. Just if you believe yourself and never believe what is shown to you unless you get it verified all by yourself. And this is the reality of life. You need to be prepared for every situation and should be ready for any action that needs to be taken. This is life, and life has its own dirty rules. And these rules actually are what we have set for life and not what life has set for us. Because in life, when facts come to you, it is not necessary that what you see and hear is the truth, unless you have had all the questions around it answered. Remember this simple funda of life, which I follow. If it is true, it doesn't need to be sensational. Or the words that are used of this sort, when spoken, it blunt, naked, and needs no decoration. But if you see decoration around it, that means only what is wanted to be shown to you is shown, and it is just a part of the truth, leaving aside death and sudden incidents. Truth can never be breaking news. Truth was always there. Truth can never be breaking news. Truth was always there before you and me, and will be there after you and me too. But lies are created, even though lies were also there before you and me, and is there after you and me too. Lies are created daily and spread every minute, but that is not the condition when truth comes into the picture. Truth is immortal, and truth is the only thing on the face of this earth that has no other supplements and can never have another picture. If it is the truth, then there is only one picture to it. And this picture is what it is. If people see it, they are wise. If people don't, the cat closes its eyes and drinks milk thinking no one is seeing it. But is that the truth? I hope you now must have got the point what I meant when I said all this. The reality around, the incidents rotate around these facts. And yes, it is very important that we all hold on to each other and ensure that we are always ready for anything that is in store for us. And when we have such informations handy, it becomes very important as to how we take it further and what are the steps we take around it, because life is not that easy when it comes to organization. Life is something which has to be lived to the fullest, not spent in tension as to what is going to happen tomorrow, or rather there is no end to anything. But it is very important that we all work towards something which we feel when we give it to our younger generation, they will be heavily benefited out of it, and they shall actually be indifferent to everything that is happening around you. Because if you are indifferent and if you keep your mind open, it's only then you will get to know who are the good and who are the bad influences around you. But if you don't, then you are at your own mercy. The biggest mistake everyone does in their life is that in the quest of keeping people around them happy, they tend to ignore themselves. And this is one of the main reasons of inferiority complex being created in one's mind, because the mind automatically gets so well programmed into the thing that you are totally unaware what is happening around you don't even have the slightest of the idea as to what you need to do and how you can actually get the things done. But then if you are detached, then your decision making becomes better. One thing I need to make clear over here is that I am not a medical professional, but what life has taught me, no medical science can. The biggest fight that goes on in your mind always is, how can I be better than him or her? Instead, train your mind to ensure that you practice, how can I be better than what I was yesterday? This will actually do a world of good to you, because this is what makes or breaks you. The society will tell what they know about it, but who knows you better than yourself? The day you understand this, nothing really will matter to you. and you will always emerge victorious. This is the real assessment of life, the real enjoyment. When you start enjoying your own company, it really doesn't matter who else is with you or who else is not with you. Because when you start practicing this, you would get to know a lot of things more about yourself, which will give that additional angle to look into things. And this is what will play a major role in your success, and this what will make you totally independent. And this means you will now get to understand the things much better than what you used to before. And this will be the game changer when any issue you are to face comes looking into your eye. The Shiney Ahuja rape case, in my eyes, was only a method applied by these people, wherein they wanted to pull this man down. And this is one huge question mark which will always stay in my mind. And now, when I go back and see these things with a neutral face, all I can conclude is that the man could be innocent and he was framed because he didn't bend down to these people. Both which ways the pendulum can swing, but yes, when the man himself is not interested to fight for it, then who are we? But this case actually shows us the flaw in our system, in our legal system too. What I have explained earlier, and if this is the condition of the system in our country, then God alone knows where do the innocents head for justice. Is this the reason we are paying our taxes? Is this the reason the common man still says, I will see you in court? Why is it so tough to keep things simple and do what is right? What kind of games have you to play around this? And why this is not the way humanity should function? Because when it comes there, the basic law of nature is that if you do bad, you get bad. Why is man challenging this or trying to change it? Why are people more scared of policemen than goons? The answers for all this is very simple. It is because we have not raised our voice, we never spoke it out within ourselves to actually make ourselves and the world to understand that it's the change that matters. And the change will only happen when you raise your voice against what is wrong. And to do this, there is no rocket science involved. All you need to understand is that you need to know what is your need, why you are doing it, and what would be the outcome of it. Once the job is done, these questions help you to gauge life better and make you get what you want. It is very easy to give in to temptations and fall flat on our face, but takes a lot to stand against it and fight. And a person who can learn to say himself, no, I should not be doing this, is the real hero in my eyes. And this is one quality which very little people have. And as a matter of fact, this is the whole truth of life, that the faults you have doesn't necessarily mean you are weak. They are being given to you to make you work around it and construct your life around it. This is what each human being should do. I'm writing all this because, remember, the person who wants to give you pain can be counted with fingers, but the people who silently bear this pain are countless. So if the countless people take on the people who are just a few numbers, mafia will be over in a day. That doesn't mean you take law into your own hands, but make noise. When you see something wrong happening, stand against it. Make noise, gather people. The only problem which the mass has is who is going to bell the cat. Just bell the cat and let the bell do its job. That's all we need to do when something wrong is happening in front of your eyes. Make noise. And when the public gets alerted, the heat of the situation changes. And then the people who wanted to harm anyone, for that matter, will realize this and get outnumbered. Mafia banks on your fear and insecurities. If you show them that you're fearless, then there is no looking back. You will emerge out as a winner in every given situation, and this will mean victory for you, the people around you. So you need to ensure that you have the need to change in yourself. So you need to ensure that you have the need to change in yourself and go for it. Just go for it. When the numbers come into the picture, trust me, victory will be yours. I want to request and make one appeal here. Taking on someone doesn't mean you end up being a criminal. It means you first try all peaceful methods to stop it. And then, if something really is needed to be done, do it with bare hands. Because most of the times, what happens is in the quest of challenging your hate and trying to change it, you end up being the person whom you once hated. And this is the harsh reality of life. wherein you need to be even the more careful before any decisions you make that will actually help you understand reality of life, wherein you need to be I'm sorry, I read that again. Before any decisions you make that will actually help you understand that you can sort out things and yet get the desired result without violence. When no non-violent methods work, violence does become mandatory, but this violence too needs to be kept in check, in big time check. The anger of a second can do damage for years only to make you repent as to why you did it. So it's very important that you understand that anger is your worst enemy. You need to make decisions only when you have a cool and balanced mind. When any thoughts come to you, it becomes super mandatory that you first let it complete and then decide what you need to do. Most mistakes happen when you have not let your thought process complete. This is another reality in life which you need to understand and digest. This is going to be my action plan when I come out with my exposures. I will ensure that I will make sure I will try and pick some people and form an action team, give them all the necessary things needed, and work around making this team the best and prepare this team to achieve everything that is possible with proper training. And also, I will work around with students and try and work for their future. I'll first pick students who like science and add fuel to their life. From here, I will make sure I will send them to NASA and other space related organizations and make sure that I have things ready in my hand when I want to do something. I will not go against anyone, but will make sure that I will make the common man realize he is the real superpower. I will work around all these things and ensure that the world we live in becomes a much better place to live. And we will have all the facilities wherein peace and harmony will thrive. This is what I want to achieve, and the pointers to achieve them are as follows. Number one, pick some good students. Number two, talk to them and motivate them. Three, train them and be with them. Four, make them realize the power of the human mind. Five, try working with them on positive approach. Six, help them with their troubles to ensure that they don't feel left out. Seven, make arrangements for better education facilities for them. Eight, proper nutrition and best diet practices. 9. Promote healthy exercising. 10. Make students understand the importance of yoga and meditation. 11. Try helping them into becoming self-dependent. 12. Promote the good touch, bad touch in school level. 12. Promote the good touch, bad touch in school level. 13. Stress on the importance of good family atmosphere with the parents of the students. I am doing this for my satisfaction because deep down in my heart, I know that students are the future of our country. I had decided only till now, Meenaji.
Yes. No,
Okay.
it's a lot. Yeah, it is a lot. And
I hope I was. I mean,
yes,
it was clear, right?
yes,
When I'm reading, it's clear.
absolutely,
Okay. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. So,
Okay.
some things like what he said about Trimukhe, we all know because he was involved. You remember every time Ria used to go back to him and report after the CBI, the NCB questioning her, and also the fact that see in Janvi Kukreja's case, the two people who investigated it was Trimukhe and Paramveer. So that itself showed that the whole case was a sham. So they just straight away put two young children in jail, saying that they were the killers. So a lot of things like this have been happening, and what he seems to have said is absolutely true. Another thing
And
is,
here also,
yeah,
Minaji, that call recording case that he was talking about. There was one lawyer of these people, Rijwan Siddiqui, I think.
yes, yes,
So the whole again, what happened? What is happening now in Vaja and Paramveer's case? The same thing happened then. So many
yeah,
stories came, so many narratives came, and ultimately it went unsolved. People
yes,
forgot about it.
yes, yes,
Okay.
and also,
So
see,
what happened to that
yeah,
case on DCP? What happened to
yeah,
that case on DCP? Were the people who filed the case, were they harassed, or what happened? So that case also didn't get any closure.
yeah. Also,
And
see, we all know that Shiney was innocent. Okay, we did a complete session on him because see, it's very clear that see, innocent people like him or Jia or Sushant or Disha, see, they're also innocent. They don't know the workings of the mafia, and if they are also clear to their conscience, they won't give in, and that is what
Exactly.
what was their weakness. I mean, what
Exactly.
killed them? Yeah, what killed them?
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly, Minaji. And here, I mean, anyone can, if what he has written, he's such an inspirational. Uh, and Sandeep Nahar's video I was seeing, after which he
Yeah.
had given after Sushant's death.
Yes.
Okay, so he too was saying, I mean, now we are knowing that he was helping him, but at that point of time, he couldn't come out in the open. He was saying
Yes.
like,
Yes.
Sushant can never be, can never commit suicide. How can a person who is so inspirational can commit suicide? And we are, after reading his words,
We
I
understand.
mean, we understand. I mean, his thought process, how he wanted to bring the change, and he was so practical and scientific about it. So he
So
wanted
many things.
to, yes,
Yeah.
he wanted to address this problem from its roots. And he keeps saying that it's the people who have to unite. And
Yeah.
yes, one thing he has summed up is that the mafia has the one thing which can keep people from getting united against wrong is the media. Media
Yeah.
can unite people, media can divide people.
Yes.
So that's why the mainstream media has been taken, the control of the mainstream media has been taken over by this mafia and the syndicate.
Yes. Absolutely.
We have many narratives floating, even the social media, though it is free now. Okay, they play their games. Right after
Yeah.
Sushant died, many warriors were planted. Many people
Yes.
came up with YouTube channels. Most of them are, I'm not talking about everyone, there are
Yeah.
many genuine people. Sushant's soul was so powerful that there are many genuine people who have started this justice movement.
Yeah.
But the people who received mileage,
Hmm.
mostly in the mainstream media and all, 99% of them are planted.
Yes.
The people who raised their voice right after Sushant, be it from the industry or be it from the politics, now we are coming to know about the double faces.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I don't know, because even
Also,
now,
yes. Yes. Tell me.
if we want to unite and bring about, make Sushant's vision come true, there will be many people who will be planted among us as well to create differences. Okay, that has
See
happened. That
here
has been
also,
happening in the past 1 year. Yeah.
also importantly, Deepti, you will note, I don't know whether you've been noticing, see, every time you come on our channel and you, expose this, the decoding, what happens is people take your stuff, and they show it as their own, their own theory or their own
I have
findings.
seen.
Okay.
I,
Yeah.
I
And
have
I
seen.
find
I
it
have
so
seen.
strange. Yeah. I find it so strange that suddenly they are coming out with their own theories of what Sushant was doing and who assigned him, etc. So many things, and they say that the diary is fake.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just take a look around, Minaji.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So many videos.
Uh,
So many videos. Some,
and they're listening
some
so
are,
carefully to you.
but I am fake. But
Yeah,
so most of them come back and say that I am fake. And I will tell
yeah,
you, Minaji, right after we decided that we will form a delegation and
yeah,
meet the PM, I want
yes,
to tell the viewers that it is very much on track. We
yeah,
have almost on the verge of finalizing the delegation. But
yeah,
the fact here is that we are waiting for Rabia ji to come,
yes,
and is not yet open for travel from abroad
yeah,
and outside. So
yeah,
that is the only reason. But the main victim, one of the main victims, she should be there. That's the reason.
yes.
As
He's
soon
the
as
one who has suffered the most.
she suffered the most, and also this time also her hearing got postponed.
Yes, yes,
Yesterday or the day before she had one hearing, again it got
yeah,
postponed.
yeah,
The same
yes,
thing is happening in ICJ.
yes,
Till my presentation happens, the listing will not happen, and I'm being given so many reasons.
yes,
Because of the COVID, the staff is less. The servers have been pulled down. Sometimes they come back saying that, anyway, I don't know what they will do for letting this out,
yeah,
though I have the LOR.
yeah,
Baseless allegations are being made on me that I am fiddling with the servers, and sometimes, I mean, the games which are being played by Rabia ji, played with Rabia ji here, those were played in Supreme Court of India when my case was with Supreme Court of India from 26 November 2018 to August 2020. I have given the dates along with the kind of games that have been mentioned in
yeah,
my previous shows. Okay. After that, again, since this mafia is international, and we are talking about child trafficking, and I have seen your shows. I have great respect for Sanjay Pathak sir as well.
Yeah.
Okay, these things are brushed aside as conspiracy theories. Okay, so let me tell you here that only those things, most of them might be conspiracy theories. Okay, I don't say that.
No, here, let me tell you one thing clearly. Whatever is not shown in mainstream media, they will term it as
Exactly.
conspiracy. Okay.
That is
Whatever
what I'm trying to
YouTubers
say.
will show, they will say is
Exactly.
conspiracy.
The truths which they wanted to bury, and if
Yeah.
they are being brought out by the YouTubers or some other people,
Yeah.
then we become conspiracy theorists.
See, whatever we are showing, whether it is with Sanjit or other guests, we are showing with facts. Nothing
Exactly.
is just
See,
out of the air, So
there is a case. There is a case going on against. I mean, Hillary Clinton's foundation was mentioned as being,
yes, yes,
involved with child trafficking. There is
yes,
a case
yes,
going in Canada Supreme Court against, the Queen of England, the Pope,
yes,
and Warren Buffett and other people for crimes against humanity.
yes,
Ultimately,
yes.
this will be brushed aside because they have money power, they have the media power, they have so influential people up there. But people should know. That is what Sushant is continuously saying. People should know. People should be aware. They are being fooled. The mainstream media is actually, they have put a mask in front of the people,
Yes,
keeping them
yes.
from getting united. That is the reason. This is the reason most of the questions remain unanswered. But we should
Also,
not rest.
yeah. Also, Deepti, see, all the sponsors or the advertisers are all in the hands of the mafia. So now, if they want to, pay the channels, what happens is they have to listen to them. So they'll say, "Don't show this." That is
this is
simple as that.
blatantly this is blatantly visible. Ria
Yeah.
is what was in one of the cover magazines. What she is the most. She was crowned as the most popular figure of what face?
Desirable, desirable woman.
Oh, desirable. Desirable for being a suspect or culprit or what? For what?
Absolutely nonsense.
Or for
Nonsense.
acting in a movie like Jalebi? Or for what? So you see how not only the polls and all the organizations and all which conduct the beauty pageants or everyone is controlled.
See, today, one of the news I heard was everybody is boycotting Tufan because it is Farhan Akhtar is acting in it. He was the one who stood against CAA. Okay. Now Ria comes out with a statement that what a brilliant message this movie has given. Now, see, you can make out the coterie. Who was she?
They,
After Sushant died, she was with them all the time.
exactly. And some of the staff that were working in Sushant's are now working with Farhan.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And in Srideviji's case as well, also I have mentioned that in one of the parties hosted by Javed Akhtar, and she had seen, I think, Farooq Lambo and some other terrorists.
Yeah.
That's when she started getting doubts. So
Yeah.
these people are well connected. Now that their
Also,
real
yeah.
faces are coming out in the public, they are watching
Yeah.
each other's back,
Yes.
supporting each other.
Also, very eerie. Another YouTuber, he has discovered that the people who were with Sandeep Singh when he was Meetu, that is Sushant's sister, when they were in the mortuary, the person who was behind is also one of the front leaders of the SSR movement, a
I
choreographer.
didn't.
And
I'm
he's masked. And he's masked, and they say he is the same person. Can you imagine? And he's the one who's been in the front, in all these campaigns in Delhi and other cities.
I missed out on this one, but it's not surprising.
I will tell you the details. Yes.
Yeah, I missed out,
Yeah.
but this is not surprising. It's not. I will tell you what happens, Minaji. Okay, even in most of the big cases, okay, where high political figures are involved, okay, those cases never got solved because the opposition was also fielded by those
Yes.
people. The one who files the petition are their people only, so that no one else, no other honest person
Yes.
comes and files it. They have their own people filing the petition if something becomes an issue. That happened in Srideviji's case. Around 30 petitions were filed.
Yeah.
Okay, 30 petitions, and most of them were dummy petitions.
Yes.
I shouldn't be taking the name, but people like the Dhak girl, and they have filed dummy petitions.
Oh,
Okay, so
okay.
so I mean, this is the judiciary. They play with the judiciary.
Here, since you said that, see, when Divya Bharti died, okay, she was doing a role in a film. You know who ran to get that film? It was the same Dak girl. Even before the ashes were had cooled down of Divya's body, she had run to the director to say that give me that role.
See, everything, I mean, see how the media, I mean, how they manage the image management is done by the media and all. I mean, simple girl, after acting, she gets married, arranged marriage, but they then again come back to India and join the same Bollywood.
Yeah.
Because they are always connected, they cannot.
Either they are in it or not.
Either they have to be someone like me. If someone is really honest, then they will end up like Meenakshi Shadri or Gracie Singh. They have to go away, leaving everything. Okay. Meenakshi Shadri, was she less a talented actress?
Exactly.
But she didn't toe the line. And she was smart enough. She left the country. That's why she's alive. If she had been here, then she would have been maligned.
Yeah.
Whatever. So this is the unfortunate state of affairs we are in.
So again, on a reassuring note to the viewers, we are on this what we have decided, and yes, the moment it is finalized, we will do what we had already put forth.
Yes, and many people have shown interest as well. So it will make a good impact. The timing needs to be perfect. We are opening for international flights to open India to open to international travel, so that we can have Rabia ji on board. So we are going ahead with it.
So thank you so much for your effort, Deepti. You don't know, people have been waiting, and every time you come, see, we are getting another glimpse into what has really happened. And see, if you were to know the truth, see, Sushant Singh's death has actually opened a Pandora's box. What people never knew before, it has completely opened every aspect. We are talking about every aspect of the mafia, and the political scene has come out.
I will tell you, Meenaji, it all started, my journey into Srideviji's case all started with a WhatsApp group. Okay, everyone was confused. And that WhatsApp group is infiltrated by people of Boni Kapoor. So the message, whatever is discussed in the group, it reaches them.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the such person was Sandeep Malani.
Yeah.
The filmmaker. Okay. So he was... I was about to form a team with him to investigate, and then he came back and started saying, telling me stories like maybe Sridevi was Boni Kapoor caught her in a compromising position, that's why he killed her. When I was trying to investigate, he was trying to brainwash me. Okay, he saw her with Adnan Siddiqui, and that's why these are the reports I'm getting. I heard from my aunt. But who is your aunt? You never told me that your aunt is in Dubai. How come she suddenly appeared from? I need to talk to her. No, I don't have a number. She called from some. Are you understanding? People try to dissuade me from going after the truth by, defaming Sridevi, who was no more. Okay, because she can't defend for herself, right?
Yeah.
So many confusions were created in my mind. So many. And
in fact, when that happened, this person was actually there. Adnan Siddiqui was there in the hotel.
Yes, he was
so
there.
They have used that.
And there are many things I cannot, I'm not sure about it. There are connections, many connections are this fashion industry, fashion designers. Okay. There was, the two people take the credit for keeping Sridevi ji alive in the minds of the fans when she took a break of 15 years. Okay. Those were Salman Nazir Ahmed of Pakistan and Monu Ramakrishna of India. Those two people had formed an Orkut group when Orkut was there, before Facebook and this thing. From Orkut, they created the largest fan site of Sridevi ji. The largest of the fan groups or the sites now, which is existence, that has been taken over. Those people are not handling it anymore. But suddenly, one day, that Salman Nazir Ahmed, he becomes a reputed fashion designer in Pakistan. Okay. Monu, I don't know. I lost touch with him. So these connections, are you seeing? I cannot, but...
Absolutely. Yeah, without doubt.
This is how deeply they play with the minds. How deep
they play in fact, Deepti, yesterday when we were discussing with Gia's mother, Rabia, see, towards the end, there was some garbling of sound coming, So they're all so upset with her talking to talking to people and exposing everything. So you could make out, towards the end of the session, there was some garbling happening, like, something electronically, so we ended the session. So something is always at work. But of
Exactly.
course, there is a supreme force which will be guiding everybody.
And I will tell you, Minaji, this person even went to the extent of I just produced one regional Odia movie, okay, and this Sandeep Malani was sent to keep an eye on me. He kept pestering me, see, please give me a role on your movie, give me a role. So I gave him a movie. That movie is, you can find it on YouTube. That is Odia Champion, Odia Movie Champion 2019. You can type, okay. So that won 2 state awards as well. So this person, Sandeep Malani, he came. He himself asked. I said, okay, fine, we are friends. I didn't know his true colors, and during the entire schedule of the shooting, he was always on phone. I mean, it was like
Reporting.
what? Reporting. Now I am connecting all the dots now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And this person, Malani, also got arrested for spreading fake rumors in Disha's case.
Yes.
Okay. So you see, all these different levels of people operate at different levels.
Yeah.
There are some who have advocate name to themselves, but mostly they are interns in some of the advocates.
Yes.
But all the job is not to handle anything legally, but to troll, to use that advocate title to win the trust of the people and mislead them.
Yes. Yes.
I just wanted to make people aware that these are the things that are happening.
Yeah. So viewers, it's a fact that a lot of the people are using whatever Deepti is saying, first of all, to say that it's not true, and then they use it as their own theory, and they, try to promote that.
Exactly. And yes, I mean, it's not that whatever is written in SSR Diaries only I know.
Yeah.
There are other people also who know, people in the agencies as well as authorities. Now it is up to us how we make them act as they should be acting.
So do you think, Deepti, we can have another session on Friday, or will it be too?
Let us do it next Monday, because as I was telling you, Minaji, they are making continuous efforts to stop me from decoding them. So it is taking more time than it was before.
So we will see you next Monday then.
Next Monday, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Deepti, for your time. Yeah, time, and from the viewers also.
Thank you so much, Minaji, for this platform.
Yeah. And
this will be one of the, if we succeed in making Sushant's vision come true, this will be one of the platforms which will be the flag bearer for the movement to start.
Thank you so much, Deepti.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Good night.